This is an assembly and review of the Urban Basic e-bike by Xprit. Xprit is a California-based electric bicycle manufacturer founded in 2018. Xprit actually buys the bikes, or at least some of them, from the Zhejiang Linbo Transportation Technologies company based in China. If you want a European manufactured e-bike, you're going to pay more than double the cost. There is the possibility of quality control issues with cheaper Chinese e-bikes. But more important, does the company selling them in North America stand behind their product? I had a few issues that were resolved satisfactorily. First was a battery charger that was heating up. Here's a tip. If you can't hold on to the working charger for more than 10 seconds, it's too hot. When I complained to Xprit, they sent out a new charger immediately. Also, I had a chain come off a back sprocket. When I contacted Xprit, I was told to bring the bike to a bike repair shop and that they would pick up the tab. The bike shop told me they couldn't fix the issue, so Xprit sent a prepaid shipping label, told me to ship the bike back to them, and in 2 weeks I had a new bike which works fine. The components are acceptable for bike parts at this price range. 7-speed RevoShift twist shifter, Shimano Tournai RD derailleur, 100mm suspension front forks, 180mm rotor mechanical disc brakes. And by the way, I prefer mechanical disc brakes over hydraulic ones. Less chance of a problem and easier to fix if there is one. Now we're going to open up the top. And you can see it's all packed in foam. Now we'll lay it down. Here's the front wheel, right here. This tire wraps have to be cut to get the wheel out. Instructions. These kit tools are all right. I guess if you don't have tools, but if you have, use your own. You get a tool kit that stays in with your bike in case you break down. Use your 2 pedals left and right. This is your front headlight. Put your headlight on here. And finally, I believe this would be your charger. Here's the charger here. You can see that it's unplugged when it's not in use. So this top foam layer should come off without too much trouble. And this here's your front tire. We'll put them aside. Okay, next we're gonna remove the battery. And here it is, right here. I'm gonna take that out. We're gonna put the handlebars on. So the first thing we do is we turn the bike right side up. This here has been tightened up, and now I'm just going to readjust these handlebars up on top. When I ride my bikes, I like to have the handlebars up so I'm sitting more upright in the seat as I'm riding. And one thing I find they could have gave us a little bit more cable on that front brake if you have the inclination to raise your handlebars up a little higher, same as I did. It usually helps. If there was a little bit, I might change this cable out myself. This here is important to tighten this up. It prevents your steering wheel from turning. Sometimes they put in a bolt, a piece of plastic, and sometimes it's this. It's all the same. You can see there's a little spacer that goes in between your brake pads to prevent them from falling out, keep the space. And we just removed it. The rotor was on the side with the brakes, and you need to guide it in there carefully. I like to put hand tighten, a hand lever for tightening on this side, and then put the spring and the nut on this side. You can tighten this bringing it around, and if you hold the nut and push it tight. So now the front wheel is in, the axle bolt is tight and in place, and the next thing we're going to do is put our pedals on. All right, next thing we're going to do is put our pedals on. Right there. There's the letter R. And then this one, letter L, right here. Your left one. So the right one has right-hand thread, left one has the left-hand thread. And our front fender's over here. It's a little bit warped, it's plastic, which is fine, keeps the bike lighter, but it's going to take it a little bit of time to correct itself. Probably sitting out in the sun for a day or two, probably do it. The fender sits something like this. You can see we got our bolts on, our cap screw down below, and our cap screw on the other side to hold the fender in place. Still doesn't look quite right, but we can adjust that later. So you adjust this, and you can move it up and down. Adjust it. We're going to adjust it once we get it back on the wheels. The bike is pretty much together. And you can see it really didn't take that much time to do this. Just got a few finishing up touches and the bike's ready. Our front headlight. It should be mounted where the front fender goes on at the same time, and we'll put it on right now. And this is where it's supposed to sit. Right on the front fender right here. Okay, here's where your light sits. Tighten this up. And here's our plug-in. And that goes up here. Connects right here on this. So here you can see where they attach the keys for the battery. We're going to install the battery. The way these go in, pull up on your lever, turn the key, put the key in, turn it, and you'll see a bolt right here. You'll see it pull up into the bike, and then you'll place your battery in. It pivots on the bottom here. You put it right in, like this, and now you turn the key and then turn it back again, and now it's locked in there, and it can't be removed unless you have the key. And that's a good safety feature. And last but not least, we're going to put some air in the tires. You can inflate these tires to 35 pounds, 35 psi. I probably wouldn't go quite that high. Probably 30 is lots. Give you a little softer of a ride. It's mid-November and we've owned 2 Xprit Urban Basics for 5 months now. Other than the charging and derailleur issues, we haven't had any other problems to date. The batteries are holding up, and after seeing how Xprit customer service treated us, I decided to buy another bike. We have put at least 200 kilometers on them. Would I recommend the bikes? Yes, but with a caveat. If you're on a budget like myself and don't have any other choice but to go cheap or do without, or somebody who doesn't mind the possibility that you might have to ship a bike back for a replacement, then this e-bike might be for you. A lot of folks state that the possible hassle isn't worth the money you save. If that's you, then you probably would be better served waiting until you can afford something more expensive.